We've been on an extraordinary journey, we, the METI family. From the beginning of METI in 1996 to today, we have literally contributed to changing the way healthcare education is thought of, is delivered, and we've changed forever the way that healthcare, medical education, and nursing education will be delivered, will be taught. That's an incredible accomplishment for us, the METI family.
1996. A small band of people in a lab in Sarasota, Florida began a new and exciting venture which would turn out to change the face of medical education. That company was METI, and its leader, Lou-欧伯多夫. Built on the promise of a project that had begun at the University of Florida, the METI founders set out to build the world's first high-fidelity human patient simulators. Amid the wires, circuit boards, and carved-out plastic mannequins, a small revolution was brewing, and an entire industry for human patient simulation was born.
I was just absolutely blown away when I saw it, and the thrill of it has stayed with me all these years.
Prior to 1996, healthcare workers relied heavily on a tried and true method that had been around for thousands of years, practicing on people.
So I saw an enormous amount of possibility, an enormous amount of opportunity to take this technology and create a business.
METI's first simulator, known simply as the Human Patient Simulator, was a long way from the portable wireless simulators we know today. But what METI's engineers created, complex mathematical models that accurately simulated real human physiology, was nothing short of revolutionary.
The genius of the inventors at the University of Florida, that team in late 1988 into 1994, built a system fundamentally modeled on physiology.
Though there was no shortage of innovation in those early days, sales were limited to the elite medical schools. Lou and the METI team knew that success would be dependent on reaching a much wider audience.
We had decided that this technology, if it was good enough for the anesthesiologists, and it was good enough for medical schools, and it was good enough for residency programs, it was absolutely essential to nursing education, combat medicine, being medics, doctors, and what have you.
The introduction of METI's high-fidelity simulators into nursing and health science education was the tipping point that launched the company on an explosive growth path. New simulators, such as the PediaSim, soon followed as the promise of training competency and critical thinking without the risk of harming patients began to permeate through the industry. But it wasn't just sales growth that Lou and METI were focused on as the strategy for success. From the beginning, METI's founder engendered a spirit of community and cooperation with the medical educators in the field. HPSN was born.
That's where HPSN started. 13 educators and our own educational faculty and our own business people in a small conference room in Sarasota, Florida. But it has always remained true. The entire HPSN movement, a phenomenon, has remained true to a single purpose, and that is our METI family coming together, sharing ideas, and allowing us to dialogue about what their needs are, what their requirements, where we're going, a communication between us and our users and our METI family.
By the turn of the millennium, METI was starting to enjoy double-digit growth year after year. Being the leader in this new field meant METI had to constantly challenge itself and, in Lou's own words, disrupt its own technology.
ECS was designed by and for the emergency care community, be it paramedics, pre-hospital, or into the emergency room. It quickly found favor, of course, in our entire community, because at that price point, you could buy more simulators and you could build a larger simulation capability, more throughput.
Medical professionals in the armed forces were also starting to take notice. In the late 90s, the Department of Defense looked to METI to create the Combat Trauma Patient Simulation, or the CTPS program, and it eventually became the basis of a civilian adaptation known as METI Live, learning in a virtual environment.
On September 10th, 2001, it was a research and development project. It was an idea that we had to impact not only military medicine, but civilian medicine and mass casualty disaster medicine as we know it today. On September 12th, 2001, it was a capability whose time had come.
Lu's vision from the beginning was for METI to be foremost a learning company. Throughout his tenure, Lu has forged relationships with leading medical societies throughout the world to develop accredited curriculum and content for simulation-based learning.
We realized that we needed to play a more active role so that we would partner curriculum already developed with the use of the simulator and the technology, and together they would be the breakthrough into a wider and wider use of this simulation and this modern technology.
In 2002, METI created an education and training department, and one of their first challenges from Lu was to develop a program to help nursing faculties easily and quickly integrate simulation into their existing undergraduate curriculum. The PNCI, or Program for Nursing Curriculum Integration, was a significant global breakthrough for nursing education and today is used by more than 600 faculties worldwide.
One of the things that we realized very quickly, that there were more things similar to nursing education on a global basis than there were differences. I guess this really reflects our fundamental philosophy, and that is, a patient is a patient is a patient.
As METI reached its 10-year anniversary in 2006, there were plenty of magical and memorable achievements to reflect back on, including the Army's Beth Pettit presenting Lu with the Commander's Award for Public Service.
Lu, thank you. We look forward to 10 more years of great development opportunities together.
METI had recently enjoyed the successful launch of a new infant simulator, Baby Sim, and ECS had been featured on the hit TV show ER.
Congratulations, Abby, you managed to kill the practice dummy. Okay, we sit for the next student.
But back in Sarasota, there was a new project in development that would challenge everyone on the METI team to rethink their entire approach to designing patient simulators.
We set out as a goal to do nothing less than to build a completely standalone, independent, wireless, tetherless, realistic skin simulator.
When iStan was launched in 2007, it immediately reset the bar for what could be achieved in patient simulation. It was the first simulator that could be transported like a real patient and operated anywhere, whether in a helicopter or under a building in a disaster scenario. iStan generated plenty of excitement, and not just within the medical simulation community. The simulator appeared on a variety of news outlets, including Good Morning America, and following in the footsteps of the ECS, in 2008, iStan got a starring role in the hit medical TV show Grey's Anatomy.
Allow me to introduce Stan.
Oh, come on!
I cannot help it. I'm dying.
I'm applying
There
pressure.
must be something you're forgetting.
Yes! You don't get to die!
The launch of iStan heralded a new era for METI. The simulator was just the first in a new series of exciting hardware and software products.
Our next version of that, again along the same logic trail, that is different price points, different application packages, always with physiology, is now MediMan.
It was an exciting time, not just for new products, but also for the company as a whole. In 2008, METI announced that it was partnering with Baird Capital to buy back the company from previous majority owners L3 Communications in order to better position themselves for future growth.
And we've just bought our company back from L3.
And the following year, having outgrown the home in which it all began, the company broke ground on a brand new 70,000 square foot manufacturing facility and corporate headquarters. In the last 2 to 3 years, METI has continued to pave the way in healthcare education, opening new doors, opportunities, and new markets around the world. Recently, in partnership with Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center, METI launched the Nurse Residency Program, providing hospitals with a cost-effective approach to optimizing their nursing workforce.
We realize that the use of simulation, while very powerful in a classroom, could be even more powerful in the workplace itself.
And in 2009, METI launched a brand new user interface, Muse, bringing web-based touchscreen technology, not just to control of the simulators, but to the entire educational content and learning management needs of the Simulation Center of Tomorrow.
Together as a community, as a global community, we have tremendous frontiers to overcome. With the challenges facing all of us, in all of our cultures, in all of our countries, about healthcare, the delivery of healthcare, the demands of our neighbors. We have a learning revolution that has really just begun. That's what we at the METI community are committed to, as we were 13 years ago, as we are today, as we will be 13 years from now. Continue along that path with us. You are part of a revolution, and you're part of a community that is making a difference.